Hello, everyone. Welcome. It's Tuesday. This is the CBSN Minnesota Morning Update. I'm Jason DeRusha. Nice to have you hanging out with us this morning. We'll get you up to date on all of the latest news. There's some breaking news we've had about COVID vaccines over the last 40 minutes or so, so we'll update you on that. How about some weather first, though? We might hit a record high today. Yeah, that'll be nice, right? 63. We're looking at maybe 65 as the high. I think, you know my belief on this. I think Riley is cautious. I, as you know, have no weather training, but just like most of you have no knowledge of any sort of kind of epidemiological issues, and that doesn't stop you from chiming in on how you think we should handle this COVID thing. So I like to kind of poke my nose into the weather. I think today's high is going to be 70. I think it's happening. So we'll see. Riley says 65. I say 70. And to verify it, I will be using the most trusty of thermometers, the car thermometer. Never wrong. And I'll be taking that temperature measure while I'm parked on my asphalt driveway. The warmth, are you enjoying it? What do you think? Today I came to work, no coat. I mean, I'm wearing this, and I'm wearing my winter coat, which is brought to you by Carbs. Yesterday in St. Paul, we saw kind of the skate park hopping. You know, here's the thing, and I'd just like to let you guys know this, skateboarding is not a crime. Look at all these people just kind of living their life, enjoying the top 10 weather day. How you feeling about winter? Can we put away the winter coat? Do you hit a point where you're just like, I know it's going to get colder, but I'm just going to suffer because I just want to put that stuff away? We want to know how you're feeling about the warm stretch. The temperatures will be back in the mid-40s later this week, but just kind of curious where you're at, how you're feeling about the weather. I think the sunshine makes everybody feel a little better, right? So chime in and we'll read some comments. The funnier the better. We'll read those comments coming up in just a minute. Let's talk about the trial of Derek Chauvin, because motions will get underway again at 8 this morning, and jury selection should start at 9 in this trial. Some big revelations yesterday in the courtroom, and of course the fact that the judge decided to send the jury home and wait until today to get started is probably the biggest headline. Higher courts will decide a number of issues. They're sort of complicated issues, right? The long and short of it is, will Derek Chauvin be charged with third-degree murder? Currently, that charge has not been added. There are appeals going on with the case that involved Mohammed Noor, and whether that affects the Chauvin case. And so this is kind of going on. Can you add that count in later, or do you need to have that charge at the beginning before jury selection? That's the crux of the question here. We also learned in a defense motion that defense attorneys found drugs, chewed up drugs, in the police cruiser where George Floyd was placed before he died. And those drugs had George Floyd's DNA on them. So that is new. We didn't know about it. And so interesting, right? We'll see how that affects the trial, affects the case. And jury selection will go on this morning if the Court of Appeals doesn't weigh in, which would be sort of surprising, but we'll see what happens. Over the next hour and a half, we'll update you here on CBSN Minnesota. George Floyd's sister came face-to-face with Derek Chauvin. Bridget Floyd, an emotional moment for her, right? She was the only member of George Floyd's family allowed in court yesterday because of COVID restrictions, just one family member allowed. She said her family is happy the trial is finally underway, and she's hopeful that this can become a catalyst for change.
Violence is not the answer to everything. Sometimes we need to take a step back, think before we react, and that's me, you, officers. It doesn't matter. Praying for justice. Our hope is that justice prevails and we can all use this as an opportunity to be better and do better for those around us.
Bridget Floyd said she's thankful for all the support her family's been receiving from all over the world. So the vaccine news that's breaking within the last hour or so, Governor Tim Walz says a lot more of us will have access to the COVID-19 vaccine starting tomorrow. Another 1 million Minnesotans or so. He is opening that eligibility list up to include people with some specific underlying health conditions, food processing plant workers, and then more essential frontline workers as well. The expansion comes after the state will hit its goal tomorrow of vaccinating 70% of seniors. The governor says that's 3 weeks ahead of schedule, and this is a big expansion. So we'll hear more from the governor at 9:30, but this is big news and means that things are moving faster than they expected, which I think we all feel good about. Some new guidelines from the CDC could help bring more Minnesota families together. These are guidelines. You can choose to follow them or not, but the agency says, all right, if you're wondering what we recommend, if you're fully vaccinated, you can hang out with other fully vaccinated people indoors, no mask, no social distancing, no problem. If you're vaccinated, you also can gather with one household that is not vaccinated. So think of like grandma and grandpa with a vaccine can come hang out at your house, assuming that no one in that house is at high risk of severe illness. And you can do it with no masks, no distancing, kind of back to normal. So something to consider, new guidelines from the CDC. Another round of COVID relief checks could be going out soon. U.S. House leaders are hoping to get the president's COVID-19 relief bill passed today or tomorrow. And that does mean President Joe Biden could sign it before the week is out. And as we've seen before, those checks can go out pretty quickly. That $1,400 check, which will go to most Americans. There are income restrictions on this, so the rich people aren't going to get it, but most Americans will. And there's a child tax credit as well for a year. New this morning, perhaps the most irrelevant person in this Meghan Markle, Prince Harry scenario imaginable, but she's Meghan's father. So Meghan's father, who has been essentially estranged from Meghan since she got married, and really, I mean, what does he know about any of this? Nothing, right? But this whole story is about family and drama and conflict. And so when Prince Harry and Meghan told Oprah that someone in the royal family had expressed concerns over what color their son's skin would be, how dark would Archie be? And here's what Meghan's father had to say on British TV this morning.
The thing about what color will the baby be, or how dark will the baby be, I'm guessing and hoping it's just a dumb question from somebody. You know, it could just be that simple. It could be somebody asked a stupid question rather than being a total racist. I don't think the British are racist. I think Los Angeles is racist, California is racist, but I don't think the Brits are.
But now, you know, now we've got our family. We've got...
So that's what he thinks. Meghan and Harry wouldn't say who made the comment. They said it wasn't the Queen or her husband. The couple told Oprah their relationship with the Queen is good. The palace still has not responded to all of this. So there we are. We know that Meghan and her father are estranged. She told Oprah that dad lied about speaking with the press, all of this, blah, 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 blah. So if you can't get enough of it, there you go. We know that many cannot because more than 17 million people watched the Oprah CBS special, according to Nielsen. I mean, gonzo numbers, right? Bigger than the Golden Globes, bigger than any entertainment special this year. It's still available for free, which is pretty cool. If you'd like to sit down and watch the whole thing, download the CBS app and you can watch it right there for free. So let's get back to the weather. Let's talk about that. Can you tell how I feel about Meghan Markle's father? Was I unclear about that? Who cares? Like, I know, all right, like we're into it, but like, this is like asking my dad, like, what he thinks about whatever's going on here inside the TV station. It's even dumber than that because I speak to my father. Just stupid. Meghan Markle's dad. What are we going to show you tomorrow? Here's Meghan Markle's like high school boyfriend weighing in. Like, dumb. All right, I'm sorry. I take responsibility for this. All right, let's show you your comments. You know, I give it to you straight. I'm not going to BS you here on the morning update. I don't BS you on the TV. I'm certainly not going to do it here on this thing. Jason is not putting away his coat. Still March. We still get snow. I know. April. We're going to get snow in April, which is always fun. Whatever. Nancy, my heavier winter coat still available if needed. Very good, Nancy. Have that coat standing by. Grandson busted out the flip-flops. One of my coworkers, Guy, is wearing shorts right now. Kimberly says, this winter was so warm, I never even pulled out my winter coat. Kimberly, this was a warm winter, but I will say I have a super warm winter coat for the first time, and I was glad I had it over that kind of 2-week stretch where we were sub-zero. Katrina points out we are in Fool's Spring. We are near the end of second winter. I have enjoyed all those memes with like the different categories of seasons. This is Fool's Spring for sure. Bradley says, come on. Bradley is a weather guy just like me. Bradley feels we have 2 good snowstorms looming. Hope he's wrong. So ready to break out the flip-flops. Thanks, Bradley. We appreciate it. Here's Cindy. My winter coat stays in the near visible area of my closet. I know that in Minnesota the unexpected could happen. I don't even switch to spring-summer clothes until late April. It's true. I do move my coat from like the hook in the mudroom to the closet. And that's how you know you're like, I'm feeling good. I did move the coat that's rated for 40 below. That has been moved to the closet. My regular winter coat, oh no. We're keeping that out till usually July. You never know. You can't be too careful. Lots of updates on CBSN Minnesota about the Derek Chauvin trial. We'll also update you from the governor about the vaccine. Lots of news happening today. We appreciate you trusting us here at CCO. I'll be back tomorrow with another edition of the CBSN Minnesota Morning Update.